Which part of a movie is your favorite part of the movie? Is it the beginning when you get the intro music and you're getting all settled in with your popcorn or whatever, and you have no idea what's about to happen? Is it when you first start to meet the characters? Is it as you build to the climax and you're on the edge of your seat waiting to see what happens? Is it the climax of the story when things are so much action and things are happening? Is it the resolution after the climax, where all of the questions that were opened at the beginning seem to be wrapping up? Or is it the very end, where everything is concluded? Or maybe not. Some people love those endings that are kind of leave things open, like they do in a bunch of the Marvel movies at the very end of the credits, where they give you the sneak peek of what might be coming next in the universe. Or maybe it's the credits. Maybe you love the credits and all the awesome music that they play during that. Which part is your favorite part of the movie? Answer that question, and let's talk about how that applies to money. In a quaint little house amid the whisper of trees, the family faced a moment of reckoning. Bills piled high like towering giants, casting shadows of doubt and fear upon their humble abode. With wallets empty and hearts heavy, they stood together, their backs against the wall, but not against each other. In that moment, they didn't summon riches or rely on worldly treasure to save them. Instead, they clasped hands and lifted their voices in prayer, seeking solace in the belief that they were not alone in their struggle. As the night wore on and uncertainty loomed large, a quiet calm settled over them, a peace born not of financial security, but of an unwavering faith. In the darkness, they found a light, a beacon of hope that guided them through the storm. And when morning broke, the giant still stood tall, but so did they, this family, armed not with wealth, but with a steadfast trust in something greater than themselves. For in that moment, they realized that their true wealth lay not in what they possessed, but in the strength of their spirits and the depth of their faith.
In a world where chaos seems to reign supreme, where uncertainty lurks around every corner, and financial markets are now more unpredictable than ever, there's one place you can turn to find clarity and control. Welcome to the Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast.
Hey, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Amanda.
Join us as we dive deep in the world of personal and business finance
to assist you in navigating through the chaos and building the financial future you deserve.
We believe when conventional financial thinking doesn't get you where you want to go,
you need wealth wisdom.
So if you're ready to take control of your financial destiny,
tune in to the Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast.
Because in a chaotic world, your money shouldn't be.
Subscribe now and never miss an episode.
Okay, here we are at the very end of our series of 12 foundations. And this one you saw, how to write a good ending to your financial story. We're at the end of the series. We're talking about endings. You might have guessed my favorite part of the movie is the ending. There's one movie in particular that made me realize this. I hated the movie all the way through. I thought it was pointless. I didn't get into the characters. The storyline wasn't captivating. But then there was this little twist at the very end. And now it's like one of my favorite movies. I'm not going to reveal what it is. It's kind of a little embarrassing. It's from the 90s. No one would like it today anyway. Maybe the early 2000s. I don't know. But it was one of those like that showed me like, I don't care what happens in the movie if the ending is good. And good could be like, unexpected. Good could be there's still some kind of open loop that makes me continue to keep thinking, or it could be like, and they lived happily ever after. Whatever good means, right? Like in different contexts. If the ending is good, I love that movie. Now, yours might be a little different. But let's talk a little bit about endings. It's kind of funny. As much as we love happy endings or we love a good ending, we don't like to think about endings when it comes to money, because typically that's a different kind of ending. It's not the and they lived happily ever after. We're not going to talk about like the, death and sadness and all of that today. This is a little bit different of an ending. So if you're scared of that, let me set you at ease. A little bit different of an ending if we're talking about. But I have to be upfront about something. I want to be 100% honest with you. Writing, talking, creating podcasts, YouTube videos about money, helping, even being a certified financial planner still seems so foreign to me. And I know for Brandon too, it's like we never pictured ourselves in the financial industry. To me, to us, both of us, there's so many more important things than money, right? Can I get an amen? Yet it seems that money is usually involved in some of those important things. Ending extreme poverty, yeah, that's probably going to take some money. Caring for our planet, absolutely, it's going to cost us something. Teaching our children to be responsible citizens, likely to involve a little bit additional spending. One of the benefits of how, this 5 smooth stones, the actual like process that we've put in here that's called still, and starting with S, and remember, it helps us remember it's not all about the tracking. It's not about your net worth. It's not even about increasing your piles of money or your assets. It's about what we feel called to, our visions, our hopes, our dreams. That's why we start with S, set your sights. And I love to tell people, if all you do is set your sights and you continue to reset your sights and hone in on what you really want and who you want to be and where you're ultimately going, you're going to be better off than most people who do all the right things with tracking, and budgeting and building their net worth and continuing to adjust and build that net worth higher and higher. If they do all those things, but they never set their sights, like, I think you're better off if you set your sights, even if you don't do all those other things. Why do I say that? Because without vision, your journey will perish. But with vision, when one journey ends, a new one begins. Even if your sights are radically different a year from now than they are today, our experience has been that the journey of seeking a worthy sight teaches us plenty of lessons to transfer to that new vision. Now, don't get me wrong. If you can do all the 5 stones, if you can set your sights, keep going with all the other 4, I believe your journey is going to be way better. I just know that there are going to be weeks in your life when finding the time to devote to your entire financial journey and to doing all 5 stones, that's going to be nearly impossible. And that's totally okay. In those weeks, use stone 1, use setting your sights to find your grounding. And whatever negative stuff is happening around you, you might find some gratitude, some perspective in that centering process by remembering your ultimate destination, right? Getting into that vision, spending some time there. If there's so much positive happening around you that you can't keep up with it, you might find even more joy in what's happening around you by setting your sights and get, how those things are going to giving you a boost toward those sights. So let stone 1, set your sights, be a foundation on which you stand strong. And, your ending, right, is where you set your sights, but then there's a new story and with a new ending for a new site, right? That's, we're talking about endings today. But there could be, I would venture to say there's probably going to be times when even setting your sights feels really shaky, when it doesn't feel like a very strong stone, or even that stone has a little bit of earthquakiness happening to it. That's when you might need to step aside and remember that in this world, we all have troubles. But in those times, we can reach out for a higher power and we can take heart. Now, just like, so we didn't, in these 12 foundations, we didn't really get into the very beginning of 5 smooth stones where we talk about David and Goliath and how David finds the 5 stones and that's what helps him defeat his Goliath. And, we share in there, we don't care if you believe that story actually happened or not. It's a story that's inspired generations upon generations of people to face their own giants and to look for unexpected solutions to the perils that they encounter. We also at one point mentioned Moses and his leadership of his own community and his own time and how he relied on a higher power to give him vision and insight for that community. And he even told them, be still and know, like there's somebody fighting for you, that you can't even imagine how they're going to fight for you. Um, and I don't care if you believe that story is true or not. Again, it's inspired so many people for so many generations to be still and to expect things to happen that they can't explain or even know what's happening. And I'm going to get a little spiritual today. And I have my own lens of what that looks like. I want you to come at this through your own lens, see how this speaks to you, what this looks like for you, but don't feel like you have to take on my thing or that I'm judging you if you're not exactly, you wouldn't use the same words that I do. But I hope this inspires you along your journey because it's really inspired me, and I've got to share this with you. Um, there, there's a mantra that I've kind of developed over the last few years that comes from a song that literally was my like anthem that got me through the pandemic. Um, that I was introduced to this song through my faith community, and it's been one that we sang regularly during the pandemic, and I would find myself coming back to it over and over and over again. I didn't know until later when I researched this song that the person who wrote it, its original songwriter, was also the person that wrote a song that I sang to my son when I was pregnant with him that became my like pregnancy song that I still remember singing that to him, about him all the time. And the songwriter, his name is Corey Asbury. I've tried to reach out to Corey and haven't been able to contact him. Corey, if you find this, know that I'm thankful and would love to actually send you a copy of Five Smooth Stones so you can see we have your name in there and so forth. Anyway, um, the song, I'm going to paraphrase the poetry that Corey wrote so beautifully in that song and apply it to your financial journey. That way, I hope that you can take this and maybe it can be a little bit of a poem to help you always take heart. So here we go. Sometimes on our financial journeys, we get lost in our mistakes. Each of our money weaknesses is an area where God's strength gets to take center stage. Our poor decisions don't define us. Arrival at a certain number is not the destination. The journey is where we are. We might need a miracle, like a smooth stone defeating a giant, a sea parting to create dry land, finding faith, or making a new friend. Sometimes all we can do is lay our financial burdens down, get rid of our money shame, and lean into the love that's available to each of us. We aren't required to be perfect. We're invited to open our hearts and believe that the story isn't over until the ending is good. Believe that the story isn't over until the ending is good. My prayer for you, for every single person that hears my voice right now and into the future, my prayer for you isn't that you get to some specific freedom number or create a certain amount of passive income. My prayer for you is that your financial journey helps you discover God's heart for you, the plans and purposes He prepared for you from before you took your first breath. Ask Him for insight, and I believe He will show up. Step away from the crowd, be still, and know He is for you and wants good things for you. Whatever that looks like in your life right now, I pray that you would have eyes to see and ears to hear. May that you experience His love each and every day of your life. Now, my heart for sharing this prayer and incorporating my personal faith into the series and into Five Smooth Stones, I include it because I've experienced so many good things from pursuing a faith-filled life. And I know that's not always true for every person. Religion's done a lot of damage to way too many people. If anything, I want you to know that I care for you. I want good things for you. Whatever that looks like, I hope that you will pursue a life of love, of meaning, of purpose, that you use money as your tool. Whatever faith you're coming from, I hope that your faith helps you do that, to, pursue a life of love, to live with meaning and purpose, and to use money as your tool. But if faith doesn't help you do that, right? I hope you find what does. Keep seeking, keep asking until your story has a good ending. Now, total transparency here. I had a really hard time writing this the way I wanted to. Um, there are so many financial gurus out there, some of them promoting downright scams to others with super good intentions, but totally misinformed and otherwise, that use faith as how they get people to trust them. And I did not want to use faith exploitively or anything like that. So I struggled a lot with, could I talk about David and Goliath? Could I talk about Moses? Could I mention a song that I sing as part of my faith community and even talks about God? And I didn't want to come across as one of those people that was trying to use faith as a way to build trust. But ultimately, it came down to faith is a big part of who I am, who Brandon is, who we are. We wouldn't be where we are today without some of miracles that we can't point to any other reason like that they happened except that there was a higher power working, like we experienced that happening. And we call that, person, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, right? That's our mode. But know that whatever faith you're from, we love you, we care for you, and the work that we do, this book that we wrote, the exercises in it, they're for you too. Our son is a part of Scouts, and he learned a great way to think about kind of interfaith kind of work and how they have it. They talk in Scouts about a duty to God, and that faith can be a really important part of development for individuals, families, can be a big component of what drives us to give back to our community or to be good stewards of our money. And if that helps you, great, go for it. Keep that part of who you are, right? Have that reverence in your life, like the Scouts talk about being reverent. But if that's not helpful to you, then, keep going with your life, all is well. um, but no, if you do like talk to us, if you want to connect with us, we love hearing about people's faith and how it drives them or other things that drive them. If it's not faith in a higher power, maybe it's a love for their fellow human being or something like that too. So you're going to get an invitation, like we always do here in the podcast, to schedule a call with us. Feel free to share that part of your life as well.
Ready to take the next step towards securing your financial future? Whether you're planning for retirement, saving for your dream home, or you just want to make your money work harder for you, the team at Wealth Wisdom Financial are ready to assist you. And now, it's easier than ever to see how we might give you a boost on your financial journey.
Schedule a 15-minute discovery call with one of us today.
And let's discuss your questions and your financial goals together.
Don't wait any longer. Your financial freedom awaits. Schedule your discovery call at www.wealthwisdomfp.com/call.
Okay, we've reached the end of the 12 foundations. We've loved creating this content for you. Know that everything is also in 5 Smooth Stones, but all in addition to that is pages to put it into practice, to write it down, to work it out, to find those micro adjustments. It's content, it's like words, things to uplift you and inspire you and help you learn new things, but it's also the ability to then work that out. And what does that really mean for this part of your life? This is your chance to still get one before the supplies run out. Go do that. And make sure you also hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. We've got some really, really, really amazing content coming up for you. I think the next episode is going to be a story from one of our clients about some dramatic things that have happened in their lives this year and what they learned about money from it. and some other great content coming your way this summer. And then into the fall, we've got some really amazing things planned. So I'm going to be working on those and look forward to sharing them with you then. Um, yeah, it feels weird to end an episode about endings. Um, I'll leave it with this. May God be with you and bless you. May you be poor in misfortune, rich in blessings from this day forward. And of course, the topics presented in this podcast are for general information only and not for the purposes of providing legal, accounting, investment, or even spiritual advice. On such matters, please consult a professional who knows your specific situation. And I don't know, God isn't very far from each one of us. Start talking to him. He's the professional in that realm. May you live long and profit.